In 2003, Aaron Ralston went on a climbing trip in Blue Gone Canyon. Very quickly, he found himself in a critical situation that required him to accept difficult decisions to survive. The film begins on Friday evening on April 25, 2003. Aaron records himself on his way to the land of the canyons. He spends the night, and when the morning comes, he goes to the Blue Gun Canyon, a 4 hours ride by bicycle. He reaches the point and immediately starts climbing to the area. Suddenly he notices a couple of lost hikers, Christy and Megan. He offers to accompany them, and they agree and go on their way. When they reach the point, he offers to show them his path between the rocks. As they hang between two cliffs, he takes them to a secret pool he knows, and from there, he continues alone. Aaron begins the journey for several hours, and then, at some point, he tries to grab onto one of the rocks to move forward. He slips and falls as the rock rolls with him. The rock falls and gets stuck on his hand. Aaron is now hanging in the air, it's just the rock holding his hand. That's the moment he realizes that he is stuck with no ability to move. Aaron starts bleeding and groans in pain. And with the rest of his strength he tries to move this rock over him. Seeing that it doesn't help, he cries out for help but no one hears. He tries to think of what to do and begins to record himself. He takes his things out of the bag and with a small knife he tries to carve in the rock. Suddenly the blade falls, and he manages to improvise and pick it up again with the help of a branch he found. The night falls but he does not despair. He tries to tie himself with one of the ropes to a higher place, to reduce the load on his hand and allow himself to rest. On the second day, after a difficult night, he begins to remember the days when he was a child. He immediately begins to record a farewell message to his parents and requests that whoever finds it will contact them and give it to them. Suddenly he feels sand falling on him from above, and Aaron starts screaming for help. But there was no one there. Another night has arrived, and to keep his body warm in the freezing night, he wraps himself in ropes and anything that he can find to keep his body warm. Monday morning, he decides to try to free himself, but he is just wasting his energy, and he begins to realize that he is running out of water. He decides that in order to escape he will try to cut his hand but he fails. The knife is not sharp enough. Suddenly a storm starts outside, heavy rain starts and Aaron takes advantage of the weather to drink water. Very quickly, the storm got stronger and the water began to flood the entire area and slowly cover it with water. Aaron is in immediate danger of drowning. But Aaron with his last strength uses the flood to push the rock and free himself. He manages to get to a safer area and from there to his car. He tries to get help and then he wakes up and discovers that it was all a dream. Another morning and Aaron continues to document himself while maintaining a sense of humor to keep sane in this crazy situation, and he remembers that he didn't tell anyone where he went. And no one has any idea where to look for it. He begins a farewell round in front of the camera to his mother and friends when suddenly he sticks the knife in his arm to try to cut it again but he regrets it. Night falls, he hears voices, and like every night he sinks into hallucinations and his condition begins to worsen. Finally he realizes he has no choice and tries to cut the arm while making sure to tie a tourniquet to him so he doesn't lose too much blood. He fights the pain when he finally manages to amputate his hand. Aaron is free, his body hurts, and he begins to turn away hastily, not before he records a video of the hand he left in the canyon. Slowly he starts gliding on top of the cliff, towards the safer ground to a source of water. From there he continues walking when suddenly he notices in front of him a family that went for a walk. With the rest of his strength he screams for help. They heard him and immediately came to help. He tells them what he went through, they look shocked, give him water, and call for rescue while being treated. Aaron's life saved, thanks to his resourcefulness. Even when everything seemed pretty lost, he never stopped hoping and trying.